There comes a point in every person's life when silence is more powerful than speech and privacy becomes more valuable than gold. Intelligence isn't always shown through words, achievements, or applause. Sometimes it's in what you don't reveal. The strongest minds know this truth. Some things must be kept private, no matter what, because the world doesn't need to know everything. Not everyone watching is cheering for you. Many clap with one hand while holding a dagger in the other. That's not paranoia, that's wisdom. So what does a truly intelligent person keep private, no matter the cost? Let's break it down. Number one, your next move. Never broadcast your future plans. Never shout your next step before you've taken it. You don't need to tell the world what you're about to do. Just let the results speak. The minute you share your dreams, goals, and strategies with everyone, you risk exposure to doubt, distraction, and sabotage. Real power is silent power. The intelligent person sharpens their tools in private and strikes only when it's time. Let your actions surprise them. Number two, your income and finances. Your money is your business. In a world obsessed with status and comparison, the more people know about your financial position, the more you become a target for jealousy, manipulation, and judgment. Whether you're earning millions or building brick by brick, it's not for public discussion. Intelligence understands that wealth grows best in silence. Privacy protects peace, and peace sustains focus. Number three, your personal life, your relationships, your struggles, your wins at home. These are sacred. In an age where everything is shared online, intelligence chooses to keep what matters most offline. Not because there's shame, but because there's value. The moment you open your private life to everyone, you invite commentary from people who don't deserve a voice in your story. What's personal should remain personal, not hidden in fear, but guarded in wisdom. An intelligent person doesn't live in fear. They live with clarity. They know what to protect, when to speak, and when silence is the loudest victory. Privacy is not weakness, it's strength, discipline, and strategy. The world doesn't need to know everything. Only the results, only the outcome. Let the noise be outside. Inside, stay sharp, stay focused, and above all, stay private. 5 keynotes of the speech privacy is power. Intelligent people understand that silence is strategic, not cowardly. Keep your plans private. Don't speak about your next move until it's already done. Financial matters are personal. Revealing income invites unnecessary judgment and envy. Guard your personal life. What's sacred should never be shared carelessly. Wisdom is knowing what not to share. Intelligence isn't just knowledge. It's control over your words and your world. Privacy is power. That simple idea has shaped the lives of the most intelligent and successful individuals throughout history. When you look around at those who consistently achieve great things, you'll notice a pattern. They speak less about what they are doing and let their results do the talking. They understand that silence isn't weakness, it's wisdom in action. In a world that constantly pressures us to share everything, an intelligent person recognizes the value of what's kept behind closed doors. Privacy is not just about secrecies, it's about control, discipline, and protecting your vision from interference. An intelligent person knows that the more you reveal, the more vulnerable you become. The mind needs space to focus, strategize, and grow without the weight of outside opinions. Think about how often people share their plans with the world, only to lose momentum when the feedback begins to pour in. Some praise, some criticize, but both affect the focus. When you're constantly explaining yourself, you're wasting the very energy that should be fueling your progress. The intelligent mind understands that what is unseen is harder to attack. Privacy becomes a shield, quiet but incredibly strong. There is a kind of psychological power that comes with knowing more than you say and doing more than you show. When your next move is hidden, no one can prepare against you. No one can interfere. No one can sabotage what they can't see. People often think that by announcing their goals or ambitions, they're gaining support. But more often than not, they are inviting pressure, judgment, and sometimes even subtle sabotage. There are people who pretend to support you, but behind your back, they question you, compete with you, or hope for your failure. The intelligent person doesn't feed this crowd with information. They starve it. They move in silence, letting their success become the noise. Keeping things private also sharpens your focus. When you are not distracted by what others think or say about your plans, your mind stays clear. You are free to change direction, test new ideas, or take calculated risks without the fear of being judged for the outcome. Privacy grants you the room to grow at your own pace. There is no pressure to perform or impress, only the discipline to execute. It's a strategy that not only protects your goals, but also strengthens your character. You begin to rely less on external validation and more on internal commitment. Furthermore, privacy cultivates inner strength. When you keep your ideas, struggles, and strategies to yourself, you build emotional resilience. You're no longer relying on people's reactions to determine your confidence. You learn to trust your own judgment. And that's where true intelligence flourishes. You stop broadcasting for attention and you start building in silence. Your efforts become sacred. Your time becomes precious. And your progress becomes unstoppable. We live in an age where everyone wants to be seen, liked, followed, and praised. But the intelligent person does not chase visibility. They chase mastery. They understand that fame without foundation is fragile. So they build quietly with depth and precision. And when they finally speak, when they finally show the world what they've been working on, it's not with noise, but with undeniable results. Their success speaks so loudly, they don't have to say a word. Privacy then isn't just a habit, it's a mindset, a silent discipline, a powerful tool that keeps the intelligent focused, the weak confused, and the world guessing. Because at the end of the day, what no one knows, they can't ruin. What no one sees, they can't stop, and what's kept private remains protected by the most powerful force of all, your own silence. Money has always been one of the most sensitive and misunderstood topics in human life. For an intelligent person, keeping financial matters private is not about secrecy, it's about self-preservation. There is wisdom in not letting the world know how much you earn, what you own, or how you spend. In today's world, where appearances and social comparisons dominate so many conversations, exposing your income or financial standing can easily become a trap. It opens the door to unnecessary attention, envy, manipulation, and even exploitation. An intelligent person understands that the less people know about your money, the more control you have over your life and your peace of mind. When you talk openly about your income or financial gains, you might think you're sharing your success, but what you're often doing is giving others ammunition. Some may start to see you not as a person, but as an opportunity. Your value becomes tied to what you have, not who you are. Friends may start expecting favors. Family might subtly pressure you. Strangers may begin to judge you, either praising you with shallow admiration or criticizing you with resentment. The intelligent mind doesn't allow financial information to become public currency. It holds it close, knowing that real wealth doesn't announce itself, it moves in silence. Money attracts attention, both good and bad, but it also reveals people's true intentions. When someone knows what you earn or possess, their behavior toward you can change. Genuine connections become harder to identify. Are they here for you or for what you have? By keeping financial matters private, the intelligent person filters out fake support. They build relationships based on respect, not riches. The fewer people who know your financial status, the fewer people who try to shape your decisions or take advantage of your success. Keeping finances private also protects you from unnecessary comparison. In today's age of social media and highlight reels, people are constantly comparing themselves to others based on perceived wealth. The intelligent person refuses to participate in that game. They know that true confidence comes from within, not from flexing material possessions. They don't need to prove anything to anyone. They don't chase approval with flashy purchases or public announcements. Instead, they stay grounded and focused on long-term growth, not short-term validation. Privacy also gives you freedom. When people don't know how much you have, they can't judge how you choose to spend it. You avoid comments like, why is he driving that car if he's rich? Or why hasn't she bought a bigger house yet? Financial privacy removes pressure to perform for others. You can invest, save, donate, or even spend however you see fit, without public commentary shaping your choices. You become free from the burden of meeting other people's expectations, and that freedom is priceless. There's also a practical side to financial privacy. Talking too much about money can expose you to risks, fraud, theft, manipulation, and legal trouble, whether you're wealthy or struggling. Publicizing your financial state makes you vulnerable. Intelligent people don't walk through life wearing a sign that says, "Here's what I'm worth." They understand that discretion is a form of security. They protect what they've earned not only with banks and budgets, but with silence and self-control. Ultimately, money is a tool, not a personality. It can enhance your life, but it should never define you. Intelligent individuals know that their financial worth does not equal their self-worth. They don't boast, they don't broadcast, they build quietly, save wisely, and live freely. In a world where everyone seems to be showing off, the truly intelligent are doing the opposite, keeping their financial life to themselves and growing it with purpose. They know that silence is not a weakness, it's a strategy, and in the world of money, it's one of the smartest ones you can use. Your personal life is the foundation of who you are. It includes your relationships, your inner battles, your family dynamics, and the moments that define your character when no one is watching. An intelligent person knows that exposing these sacred parts of their life to the world is not only unnecessary, it's dangerous. Privacy in your personal life isn't about hiding, it's about protecting what matters most. It's about understanding that the more people know about your personal business, the more power they have to interfere, manipulate, or judge what they can never truly understand. In today's world, people overshare everything. Social media encourages us to post every detail, where we are, who we're with, what we're feeling, and even who broke our hearts. But what many fail to realize is that every piece of personal information given to the public becomes a doorway. A doorway for gossip, criticism, assumptions, and even envy. The intelligent mind doesn't open that door. It keeps the most meaningful aspects of life behind the curtain, not out of fear, but out of respect for their value. Because when something is truly valuable, like gold, you don't leave it out in the open, you protect it. Relationships, in particular, are one of the most vulnerable parts of personal life. Whether it's family, friends, or a romantic partner, those connections flourish in privacy. The moment you start involving outside voices, opinions begin to shape your thinking. People who don't live your life start influencing how you live it. They give advice without understanding context, judge without knowing the truth, and offer commentary that can quietly erode the trust you've built. The intelligent person avoids this trap. They understand that intimacy cannot survive constant exposure. What's between two people should stay there. It doesn't need to be proven to the world. It just needs to be nurtured and protected. Struggles are another deeply personal aspect that deserve silence. Everyone goes through pain, confusion, and setbacks. But not everyone needs to know when you're in the fire. Sharing your problems publicly may invite sympathy, but it can also attract attention from the wrong people. Those who secretly celebrate your suffering or use it to measure your weakness. An intelligent person processes their battles privately, drawing strength from within rather than seeking external pity or approval. They may seek help, but they choose their circle carefully because they know that not every ear that listens has a good heart behind it. Achievements, too, can be personal. Not everything needs to be posted, praised, or acknowledged. The intelligent mind finds peace in quiet success. They don't measure their growth by applause. They celebrate in silence, knowing that some victories are too meaningful to be displayed like trophies. The more personal your success, the more power it holds over your self-belief. When you need the world to validate your wins, you become addicted to external validation. But when you keep them close, you develop internal strength, the kind that can't be shaken by others' opinions. The more private your personal life is, the more control you have over your energy, your time, and your emotions. You eliminate the distractions that come from unnecessary opinions. You avoid emotional entanglements with people who were never meant to be part of your story. You create a life that's yours, authentic, quiet, and powerful. In a time when everyone is trying to be seen, the intelligent person finds their strength in being unseen. They know that their peace is more important than other people's curiosity. They live their personal life like a sanctuary, not a stage, because what is sacred should never be shared carelessly. It should be guarded, honored, and preserved with silence. Wisdom is not just about knowing more, it's about knowing what not to say. In a world that glorifies speaking out, expressing every opinion, and sharing every thought, the intelligent person practices restraint. They understand that words, once spoken, cannot be taken back, and not everything that is known needs to be spoken. There's a level of self-mastery in being able to observe a situation, possess knowledge, or hold a strong opinion and still choose silence. It's not cowardice. It's a deep awareness of timing, purpose, and impact. The wise understand that speaking less often leads to greater influence, while speaking too much often leads to unnecessary consequences. Many people feel compelled to prove what they know, to show others that they are educated, informed, or powerful. But in doing so, they often reveal more than they intend to. They expose their strategies, their emotions, and sometimes their insecurities. An intelligent person, on the other hand, doesn't speak to impress. They speak to impact. And often they don't speak at all until the moment is right. They hold back not because they have nothing to say, but because they understand that timing and intention are more important than volume. There is also strength in refusing to argue every point. Some conversations are not worth having, and some people are not worth convincing. The intelligent person doesn't waste time debating with those who are determined not to understand. They know that silence can be louder than argument. When they walk away from pointless discussions, they're not surrendering. They're choosing peace over ego. Not every battle needs to be fought. Not every insult needs a response. And not every challenge deserves attention. This kind of selective silence is a powerful form of wisdom. Knowing what not to share also protects your energy. The more you speak about your plans, your emotions, your fears, and your achievements, the more you invite unnecessary attention. Some people will pretend to care just to get close enough to sabotage you. Others will drain your enthusiasm with subtle doubt or negativity. But when you speak less, you give them less to work with. You control the narrative of your life, and you keep your energy focused on what matters: action, not explanation. The intelligent person is careful with their words because they know that every conversation is an exchange of energy, and not every exchange is worth it. Another reason intelligent people guard their speech is that they understand the power of mystery. When you don't reveal everything about yourself, you keep others guessing. You become unpredictable, and that unpredictability is a strategic advantage. People can't interfere with what they don't know. They can't judge what they haven't seen. The quiet individual is often the most underestimated, and in that underestimation lies their strength. While others are loud and exposed, the quiet one is observant, deliberate, and one step ahead. It's not about being manipulative, it's about being mindful. Even in emotional situations, wisdom shows in what you choose not to say. Sometimes silence is the most powerful response to disrespect, disappointment, or betrayal. Not because you're weak, but because you value your dignity over drama. The intelligent person doesn't argue to prove a point. They live in a way that makes the point undeniable. They realize that not every emotion needs a voice, and not every frustration needs to be broadcast. Silence in those moments becomes a form of emotional strength. The ability to control your tongue is one of the clearest signs of intelligence. It's easy to speak when you're angry, proud, or excited. It takes discipline to pause, reflect, and decide whether saying something will help or hurt. That kind of restraint is rare and powerful. The intelligent person doesn't just know a lot. They know what to keep to themselves, and in that silent wisdom lies their greatest strength. Intelligence isn't only measured by how much a person knows, it's also measured by their ability to manage what they know. Wisdom is the ability to discern not just what is right, but what is appropriate, necessary, and effective. An intelligent person understands that control over speech is just one part of a deeper skill, the discipline to choose what not to share with the world. In many cases, the decision to stay silent is more powerful than the decision to speak. It's a sign that someone has matured beyond the need for attention, validation, or emotional outbursts. They have mastered the art of self-governance. In a time when every detail of life is put on display, from achievements and relationships to thoughts and feelings, it takes courage and intelligence to hold back. It takes confidence to know something deeply and not feel the urge to prove it to others. The truly wise are selective. They don't talk just to fill space or to be seen as important. They talk with purpose, and they stay silent with purpose. They weigh their words the way a craftsman selects tools, carefully, intentionally, and only when the situation demands it. Their silence is never a void, it is a choice. Knowing what not to share begins with a deep understanding of human nature. People are quick to form opinions even when they lack context. They judge, assume, and spread information without care for accuracy or intention. An intelligent person understands this and refuses to offer their thoughts, plans, or feelings to people who haven't earned that access. They see that not every listener has good intentions. Some are just curious, some are jealous, some are quietly hoping for your downfall. So instead of offering them information to twist or misuse, the intelligent person chooses restraint. They reveal only what's necessary and only to those who have proven they can be trusted. This approach protects the intelligent person from emotional exhaustion. Oversharing often leads to overexposure, and overexposure invites misunderstanding and conflict. When people know too much about you, they feel entitled to comment, advise, or interfere. You lose your sense of personal control, and your peace begins to slip away. The intelligent person avoids this by creating boundaries through silence. They maintain emotional and mental space by not giving people the tools to build opinions they have no right to carry. Privacy becomes a shield that keeps them focused, grounded, and at peace. Wisdom also teaches that many things lose their power when they are spoken too early or too often. A goal talked about too much begins to feel achieved before it is. An idea shared too quickly can be stolen or dismissed before it's fully formed. An emotion expressed too soon may be misunderstood or misused. The intelligent person understands timing. They know that everything has its moment, and that moment is not always now. They let their work develop in silence. They let their emotions settle before reacting. They allow ideas to mature before presenting them. This patience is not a lack of confidence. It's a reflection of deep internal strength. There is also great humility in knowing what not to share. People who constantly talk about themselves, their problems, or their successes often do so from a place of insecurity. They are seeking reassurance, attention, or approval. But the intelligent person doesn't need the spotlight to feel secure. They are comfortable in their own skin. They don't seek applause because they don't rely on it. Their worth is not tied to being noticed. It's tied to being true to themselves, regardless of who's watching. This self-assurance allows them to move through the world quietly, but powerfully. To know what not to share is to be in control, not just of your words, but of your mind, your heart, and your energy. It is a skill that reflects emotional intelligence, maturity, and discipline. It is the kind of wisdom that doesn't shout, but always wins. In the end, intelligence isn't always about how loudly you speak, how much you know, or how often you're seen. True intelligence lies in your ability to protect what matters: your future, your finances, your personal life, your speech, and your inner world. The most powerful individuals don't reveal everything they feel, think, or plan. They understand that privacy isn't about hiding, it's about preserving peace, focus, and control. In a world that constantly demands exposure, it takes real strength to remain private. So be the one who moves in silence, grows in the shadows, and lets your results make the noise. Because an intelligent person knows what's protected thrives, and what's exposed invites interference. Guard your life like it's your most valuable possession, because it is.